Hey everybody. Ooh. Come on, lighting. I have my stuff on, so I might look a little funny, but we are shaping, okay, on today. Hey everyone, welcome to the broadcast. It's your favorite Dr. Honey, Dr. Faith Abraham. And on this channel, in this place, we help you get your mind right, your spirit right, and your money right, because you shouldn't be concerned or confused as to which one needs to be growing. All three of them, okay? All three of them. We're going to talk about some different ways that women specifically can create streams, multiple streams of income. And I like to go ahead and get started. So listen, why we need to have multiple streams of income as a woman. First and foremost, one of the things that we have to understand is if you haven't felt it, God bless you. That's awesome. But if you are paying attention, then you know that inflation is a real thing. Some people have said that shrinkflation is going on as well, where it's like you're buying the same size bag, but within the bag, it's a lot less of the product. Yeah, shrinkflation. That's going on. And the truth is, if you have followed me for some time, you already know I'm a woman of the word. I love the Bible. I love God. That's live, breathe it. That's me. And in the book of Ecclesiastes, I believe it's chapter 8, it says that you should have 7 streams. Yeah, even 8, because you do not know the times. You do not know what will come upon the land, is one translation. So in other words, if you are just living and breathing, you are an adult, you need to have multiple streams of income. You need to have, biblically speaking, 8 streams of income, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen in the economy. You don't know what's going to happen in the world. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, we really don't know. But we have to live like we do know. And we have to put things together. We have to put things aside for ourselves, right? And so if you know anything about that, you should be working on that. You should be building things up, right? So that you can have those multiple streams. As when I coach my clients, I tell them, don't sit there and try to do all 8 at the same time. You're going to drive yourself into an early grave. You don't have that much capacity to do that. Nobody does. The only way you will be able to have or create multiple streams at the same exact time, hear me and hear me well, at the same exact time, is if and only if you have multiple streams already and you have established systems, SOPs, protocols, and people that can do and work the other streams on your behalf. Please hear me. Because a lot of people feel like, oh, you know, y'all millionaires always talking about 7 streams of income, 8 streams of income. And when I sit here and do it, y'all say that that's wrong and I need to focus. Yes, you do need to focus. If your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. You need to focus because that is how the brain is wired. Now, when you figure out how to do one stream of income, you can move on to the second, on to the third, on to the fourth, right? And somewhere within creating those streams of income, you have acquired the knowledge to now have, and you've acquired knowledge and you've also acquired people to now help you establish the other ones. Think of it like Shark Tank. A lot of times you go on Shark Tank, you watch the show Shark Tank, you see Mark Cuban, you see Barbara, they're there and they're buying all these companies and they're investing money into the companies, right? But don't sit there and think that they are the ones that are sitting with these people day in and day out. They're not. They have systems, they have protocols, they have SOPs, they have a structure and a way to get things done, which thereby allows them to leverage their time, leverage their expertise and their money so that their money can now make money for them. This is the difference. Now, as a woman, as we are sitting here and we're like, okay, well, I need to have these multiple streams of income. One of the things that you have to, one of the number one things that I will ever tell anybody is You need to create streams of income in a way that is fluid, is congruent with how you naturally are. For example, let's say you love Target. You love Target. You find yourself in Target maybe 2-3 times a week. Let's say you have the app on your phone. Target is your go-to. You need something in the house. You open up your, ladies, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You can put it in the comments. Don't feel bad, because I do the same thing. You open up your phone. Oh, I don't have as many white towels as I want. So I go into the Target app. I add towels to the pickup, because all I got to do is just tap the button. 2 hours later, they send me an email, come, your pickup is ready. You can order you some Starbucks when you come and get your order. I drive up, I tap the button again. They come out and give me my order, and I take myself on home or go do other errands, right? Very quick to make these purchases. But have you ever considered that the same places that you make your most consistent purchases are the same people that should be paying you back? How will Target pay you back? Target will pay you back when you buy their stocks. I just want to see if y'all following if y'all picking up what I'm putting down. That's all I want to know. I just want to know if y'all understanding what I'm saying. If you know that Fenty I have YSL lipstick right here. And YSL is one of my favorite designer brands. Ask me if I have stock in YSL. Just ask me. Dr. Faith, do you have stock in YSL? You bet I do. They need to pay me back all the money I spent on them. How am I going to sit here? Listen, the relationship needs to be mutually beneficial. You understand it? It got to be mutually beneficial. So if I'm sitting here spending all this money, I'm walking around, I'm putting on my YSL lipstick, I'm wearing my little YSL bag and all of this here, then guess what? I'm advertising for you guys. Y'all need to pay me. How they're going to pay me is by me buying their stocks. Buy the stocks, ladies. Buy the stocks of the companies that you use the most. This just makes sense. This just makes sense. Buy stock in the companies that you use the most. I literally sit here, I'm an Apple head. I'm going live on Facebook. I'm live on Instagram. I have my laptop holding up my computer, and both of these are iPhones. My laptop is a MacBook Air. Before I had the Air, I had a MacBook Pro. I have 3 children. All 3 of my children have Apple phones. And I got a mouse sitting right here. Why would I sit here and spend so much money on Apple and not give Apple the opportunity to pay me? How do they pay you? Not only is it when you buy stocks, a lot of these companies also pay out dividends. Listen, I'm just giving y'all some free game right here. I'm just giving you free game, because in the Women's Success Circle, this is the type of stuff that we talk about. This is the type of stuff that we share. This is the type of stuff that we encourage each other to do, because if we don't encourage each other to win, if we don't leverage as women our own buying power, our own influential power and relevance, everybody else is going to benefit but us. And that is wrong as far as I'm concerned. Like, I just can't have it. You know good and well, men are not buying a house without talking to their wives. Yes or yes? Yes or yes? Men are not buying a car and they're married or they have a significant other and they don't sit there and talk to their significant other. Yes or yes? Exactly. No, they're not buying it. They're not buying it. They are going to go home, or they're going to bring their wife or their partner, and they're going to go and they're going to shop together. Because if he comes home with a car that she does not like, guess what's happening with that car? It's going back. It is going right back. She does not want it. She's not driving it. He is not going to be free until that car is traded in. He gets a new one. Something's got to give, because she's not going for it. This is the power that we have. if we in the household say, hey, guys, guess what? I'm changing up everything. We're going on a strict diet. We are going to eat clean, no preservatives, no fake stuff, no red 40, no blue, whatever, and yellow dye and all that stuff. We're changing everything up. Is anybody, how many people in the house want to take on the argument of arguing with the mom? The one that's actually doing the cooking. Isn't that whole house going to change? It absolutely is. The type of food, the type of clothing, if it's a lot of ladies in the house, the women, the type of makeup, the type of hair, women are the most influential when it comes to purchases, buying, money. Go look at the statistics. African American women are number one for higher education in the United States of America. Go look at it. Google is free. Free. African American women also top the number or the demographic who are starting brand new businesses in the United States of America. Google is free. Why? What is happening? What's happening is women are empowering themselves. The deficit that we once had where we were not included in wealthy conversations, the deficit that we once had where we didn't have the opportunity to create wealth without it being so much of an aversion towards us and it being, just all these nasty things and, oh, she's such a bitch and she's so bossy and she's so aggressive and all of that stuff, it's still here, it's still alive. However, a lot more of us are getting to the point where we don't care because we realize that we live longer than men do. If you go to the senior citizens' homes, the number of men that are there compared to women, huge gap, because women outlive men. But that also means that women have to know what their money is doing. We have to know how to invest. We have to have a say-so in investing. We have to have a say, like if we have all this influence and we have all this power when it comes to money, why don't we have more investments? Why don't we have nest eggs? Why aren't we sitting here telling our spouses, babe, listen, I have a feeling, because women are very intuitive. I have a feeling that this that's happening in the economy right now, it's happening in the society, it's going to sway some things. So this is my recommendation for us in investments. I know I'm talking about money. I'm talking about finance. I'm talking about math. And a lot of people don't want to hear it, but you need to hear it. I will be that beacon. I will be that messenger. You can shoot the messenger for all I care because every bullet that comes my way is going right into the ground. It's not going to touch me because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. We have to have these conversations. And that's why I created Women's Success Circle. I haven't launched it yet. You can go ahead and put your email in. Go to womenssuccesscircle.com, type in your email, and you can be on the wait list. So when we launch, you'll know exactly what's going on. But I'm just giving you a little insight here. What's another way for women to make money? Have a stream of income. Listen, you didn't know this, but insurance. Insurance is not just for when you pass. Insurance is also while you are alive. How do you think some of these people come up with these big investments for these companies that they want? How do you think, guys? How do you think? They use insurance. They use insurance money. They borrow against their insurance. They borrow against their mortgage. Y'all, listen. My husband and I, we just did 20-year wedding anniversary in Houston. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. And for those of you who don't know, I still do marital counseling because the marriage is what builds societies, okay? But we did our 20-year anniversary. There are certain things that I value and my husband does not. Let's be clear. There you go. Hey, babe. Abraham, right? There are certain things that he values and I do not. There are certain things I value and he does not. For the things that he did not value, guess what I did? I wasn't going to ask him for the money because there was no point. Like, we had conversations. He expressed himself. He showed me he was not interested. He showed me that, he didn't want to have anything to do with it. Cool. No problem. I understand, babe. I got you. So what did I do? I went and tiptoed into my nest egg and I said, I have something. So what I did, check the play, catch the play. I'm giving you mad gems right here. This is stuff I should leave for the circle, but I'm going to give it to you today. So some of the things that he didn't value, what I did was I went ahead and I paid for it on my credit card. And so I collected points on my credit card. Okay? I got points. So once I got the points and it posted, I tapped into my nest egg, took some money out of there, and threw it onto the balances of my credit cards. What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? I had created a nest egg. I had created something just for whatever. Emergencies, kid stuff, because kids are so expensive. They're more expensive than I am. It's just there. And every month, a little bit of money is going to that account. A little bit of money, automatically, a little bit of money. A little bit of money. A little bit of money is going to the account. A little bit of money going to the account. A little bit of money going to the account. Every single month. Don't even think about it. It's just on automation. Well, when time came, I used it. And I applied that money to my credit cards. Now, I'm using both of my phones, so I can't even show you. And I think I shredded it already. And now, I'm getting emails. Hey, you're pre-approved for so much amount of money. Hey, do you want this loan? It could be a personal loan. It could be a business loan. We just want you and we want your business. And all this stuff is just coming out the woodwork. Coming out the woodwork. So if I have anything that I want to spend money on, that I want to invest in, I have money. I have offers coming in for me to take loans, for me to get more credit cards. Why? Because I showed myself worthy in their eyes of being capable of handling my finances to where none of my credit cards are above the CPU, the credit percentage. Like you shouldn't go more than 30% on any credit card. Why am I sharing this with you? Because ladies, this is the wealth conversation. This is the stuff that we need to converse about. It is not demure. It is not classy for you to not know anything about money, for you to have a certain level of success and not know what to do with it other than buy shoes and bags. Thank you for that one heart. Thank you for that one heart. At least somebody's hearing me out. Right? We have to, as powerful and as influential as we are, we have to show that with our money, with our dollars, with our dollar signs. Even the Bible says that the wisdom of a poor man will not be heard, but the wisdom or the foolishness of a rich man will be. Imagine that. So the rich man can be a dummy, but people will still listen to him. And the poor man can be full of wisdom, but nobody will listen. Hello. So what do we need to be doing? We need to have both the wisdom and the wealth. We have to be successful in all areas. Mentally, listen, I can give you a whole thing. I have a whole synopsis, okay? I'm going to give it to you right here. 5 fingers. These are 5 pillars of your life. Financial, emotional, physical, mental, spiritual. If you have those 5 pillars of your life are strong, then you will be able to handle anything that comes against you or towards you in this life. And not only that, you will have a fist in which to fight and have the success that you were born to have. Don't say I never told you. It's FIMPS, okay? And why I always teach people this. Why? Because you have to understand how life works. You got to understand the universal principles. You have to understand what people are really fighting for. And when you understand that your money can't be funny, especially in the season that we find ourselves in, there's no excuse. There is no excuse, especially as women. There is no excuse. We live in the best times ever for women. We have access to things that we've never had access to before. So how can we still be in the same financial rut as those, our predecessors and those who went before us? No, somebody got to answer the question. Somebody got to tell me something true now. How? Why? What streams of revenue do you have? Saving is good, but the saving that you're doing, is that saving making you money? Oh, I didn't know saving was supposed to make me money. It is. It is. If you have, and you know the right type of accounts, you have access to the right information, you will know that any money that you put away, that money should be working for you, should be creating extra income for you. Now, I'm not talking about the 0.00001% they give you at the bank. Not that little childish mess. We're big girls. We've grown up. We don't need that. We want 4.5%, right? Come on. We need the big dog returns. We need the stuff that's actually going to multiply itself and get on top of blessings, okay? That little baby stuff, we're not interested in that. We want the big stuff. But this is the stuff that I talk about in the Women's Success Circle. This is the type of conversations that we have. And here's the thing. We're not scared of each other or jealous of each other or envious of each other, because we're all doing our things no matter where we find ourselves in life. That's just how it is. And now you get into a community, you get into a place where we are talking about money, and we're talking about money freely. We're talking about it like it's like just like buying clothes, because one of the stigmas that people put on us and society puts on us is that, oh, all we want to do is spend money and buy bags and buy shoes and soft life. Let me tell you something. I'm all about the soft life. God made me for the soft life, but I am a hard worker. You can ask my husband. I will work. I was born and taught. I was raised in the value of education and hard work. So I don't have a problem with that. And because I have a love and for education, for knowledge, continuously learning, it has put me in a position where now, when I used to be, I'm talking about deep in debt. I was paying for food. I was paying for my house. I was paying for gas with credit cards. I was lifting couch cushions just to find coins to fill up my gas tank. My gas tank couldn't even get on F, and I love an F. Ooh, I love an F on the gas tank, but I couldn't do it because I had no money. I would get a check for $50, $5 would be my tithes, $45 I just had to make it stretch. I know what it is to be Baroque. I had a bed and it had no frame. So the bed was just there on the floor. The apartment was empty. The white refrigerator was white on the outside and white on the inside because there was no food in there. Nothing. I was working my clothes. Like, let me tell you something. I was the dry cleaner, okay? I had to make sure my stuff was, when I got married, my dress was $50 and I got it off of eBay. And then $25 to get it dry cleaned. I know what it's like to not have anything. I know what it's like to make things stretch. But I also know what it's like to live on pure cash only, with the sole purpose of lifting myself up out of that rut. The same things that I went through and I had to go through, because social media wasn't like this back then. It wasn't like, just where you could just collect all this information or get into a community and then we start talking about all these things, and someone who cares enough about you, will give you insight into some of this stuff. That stuff didn't exist. I had to go through the trenches to figure this stuff out. And now that I figured it out, I'm like, well, I need to share it with somebody. Somebody has to hear this stuff. I got to get this stuff over. And that's how my business has, ever since I showed up on social media, how many years ago? Almost 14 years ago, according to Facebook, right? Anytime I have learned things, anytime I have mastered things, and I say master, but there's always something to learn. But anytime I have gathered information, I've always put my business in a place to pass over that information. So whether it's certification, whether it's getting out of debt, whether it's biblical dream interpretation, whether it's confidence, soul healing, all the stuff that I teach is stuff that I had to learn. and gather and struggle with myself. And then I can now say, hey, here, look, here, give, look, this, like just handing it out. Because I don't want to have those that are around me or that God connects to me have to suffer and struggle as long as I did. We do have to struggle. Struggle is a part of life, right? But how much we struggle, how long we struggle, that's a decision. That's our decision. We get to decide on that. Okay. So let me wrap this up because I got a meeting coming up. So multiple streams of income as a woman. First and foremost, if you have a job or you have a career, that's a stream of income. And do not despise your job because, honey, let me tell you, your job will be your first business investor. I felt that in my spirit. Your job can be your first business investor, okay? Now, from that job, you can take, like some jobs have 401ks, they'll have match. So do that. Put enough in so that they can match it. You put 45 in, they put 45 in, or they'll put like half of it in. I've seen programs like that. So that's a stream of income too, because your 401k, you can end up using that. That's money that you didn't have before, right? Okay. You can have, and when you come into the Women's Success Circle, I'm going to tell you about a specific platform that helps you to get stocks, analyzes stocks for you. And we go over stock analysis in the circle, right? And also gives you free stocks. Well, we'll talk about that, but that's another stream of income. Okay. Then if you can take the money that you get from your job and you can start a side hustle, have your side hustle, have your business, right? And as you're growing and developing your business within itself should have different streams. So let's say you have merch, you have physical products, that's a stream. Digital products, that's a stream. You a speaker, that's a stream. You're an author, that's a stream, right? So that's you creating multiple streams of income for yourself. Now, don't just sit there and go and do it because, we talking about it does take some structure and some effort. I talked about that earlier on in the broadcast. So watch this when we finish. But that's multiple streams right there. Okay. Then we said your brands that you love and you like, and you're always purchasing and buying, get stocks. Buy their stocks and then see if their stocks pays dividends. That's how it's going to pay you right back. Like every 3 months, 6 months, they'll pay out dividends. When I get my dividends, I just take my dividends and put it right back into investing. Okay. So I just let it work for me. Right. Okay. So you have your stocks. You have your business that can actually create multiple streams for you. Then that business, if it's a really good business, it's going to show itself to solve another problem. So you can create another business and let that business be within the same industry so you're not having to work too hard. I'm giving y'all some real stuff here. It just depends on where you are. You're going to catch what I'm saying, okay? And of course, you can implement some type of automation. So that automation now allows you to free up your time and you can leverage yourself so that you can get some other things done, which is also building your home, building up yourself, etc., etc. So guys, this is how we create the multiple streams. Let me know before I go if you have any questions for me. Put it in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Yes, you are very welcome. I love to talk about this kind of stuff. And I will tell you this, one thing that is an intangible and you can't touch it, it is delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. Like when I was living off cash only, so if I didn't have the cash, it wasn't getting purchased. Point blank, period. All my credit cards were cut up, so I couldn't even, I couldn't even move or jig a little bit. Nope, credit cards were cut up. If it wasn't paid for cash, then we didn't get it. And it was just that, and that was hard too, because we had kids. Kids don't care. Kids are like, I don't really care about none of that. I need this. I want this. Mama, right? So, that was a difficult time, but short-term sacrifice for long-term gain, and the gain has been worth it. So that's the type of stuff that we're talking about. So Yes, absolutely. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. So here, yeah, them kids don't care. They do not care. You could give them stocks for their birthday. They're looking like, but this is not the Xbox. This is not the PS5 I was looking for. Where's my V-Bucks, lady? Like, they don't care about any of that stuff. But you have to care, because if we love our kids so much, we would die for them. Well, guess what? You need to love your kids so much that you would implement delayed gratification for them, because that's where the big win is, right? Gotta look into those stocks. Absolutely. Look, I even have an Apple Watch on. This stack I'm wearing right now is Yerman. Now tell me if I don't have stock in any of this stuff that I'm wearing. You know I do. You know I do. What are you talking about? You know I do. Let's get it together, right? And they pay dividends. I'm trying to think of some. I'll do another live and I'll talk about some of the stock, or just come into Women's Success Circle. How about that? www.womensuccesscircle.com. I'm going to tell you the stocks that really pay dividends. And I'm gonna post this one too. I had a DM come in the other day, and she was like, Doc, when you gonna talk about the stocks? When you gonna talk about the stocks? I was like, I will. Why? She was like, because I made good money off of this one particular stock. At the time, nobody really knew about it. And I mean, people knew about it. It's one of a brand that is very familiar, but nobody knew how it was gonna blow. So based on the analytics, I shared it with the group that I had at that time. She jumped on it and she had made some money off of that stock. So when she cashed out, she was like, Doc, what's up? What's up? Like, I need some more stocks. Like, give it to me, you know? And so that's the type of stuff that we do in the Success Circle. So you got to be a part. It's free. It's free right now. Get on the wait list so you can learn more about it. But this is the type of stuff that we talk about. This is the type of stuff that we build ourselves up upon. You know, finances, faith. We're doing it because this is what is meant for us. Hi, dearie. I'm live. Oh. All right, guys. So I appreciate you being here. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you do not miss when I go live. And we will talk soon. Ciao.